welcome back to the show. We are having a second game between Gretorp and Kane. Kane just showing us his Zerg versus Protoss, and we're trying to apply it to Sky Toss, but as he just showed us, games can end well before it ever reaches the Sky Toss phase if you play your cards right. So we are back on Daybreak, and we're going to be doing it all over again. And we'll see if Gretorp fares any better or if Kane continues to dominate. After this, I'll be the one playing, and maybe we'll see if I can carry over the same kinds of success. So again, it was the 15 spawning pool. Was that a 15 or 16 hatch, Kane?
It was actually a 15 pool, 16 hatch.
Cool.
And
go ahead.
You mentioned that games can end before that point, and you'd be surprised how often people just die to a Hydra timing. It's not uncommon at all, so it's not like Gretorp did badly or anything that game. Sometimes you're just caught off guard, and that's one nice thing about this build.
Yeah, it can just kind of win. When you play against a Protoss player that does something like go Phoenix. Obviously, Hydras can do very well against Phoenixes, but we've seen in the past equal number of Phoenixes. Like if you have 8 Hydras and 8 Phoenixes, the Phoenixes are just going to lift and kill everything. Do you feel like that's a better way to open against this kind of a build?
Not really, because I think that, like with this build, you get 16 Hydras or so, and that's really, really hard to deal with if you're going only air like that, because you're not going to have any other ground units really. So I think what Gretorp did, like a fast 3 base, is fine. You just have to defend a bit better. Like you have to have sentries and maybe, I don't know, immortals or something like that. Just something other than gateway units, you know.
Now, the arch enemy of the Hydra has always been the Colossus. How do you feel about, how would you defend, like, say, a 2-base Colossus timing?
It's really, really important to scout what they're doing. Like, you can't go blind Hydras. The metagame is, like, people don't do 2-base Colossus all-ins that much, but you should be scouting all the time for, if they do, on the off chance that they do, because that one game might be important.
Yeah.
So just make sure you scout once your layer is done. That's the biggest piece of advice that I can give you. But you should be doing that anyways, even if you're going mutas or roaches or something like that. You should always be scouting. And
if you see that robotics bay, what is your reaction going to be? Are you going to throw down a roach one and try to counterattack? Or are you just going to go straight to muta?
I would say probably try to go straight to muta. You might have to sacrifice a base or two, though. And just base trade with them. I think that's probably what I would do.
Okay. Well, this game...
Like I said, though... Sorry, like I said, Colossus all-ins aren't that common, so I haven't had a lot of practice with it or anything.
Right. This game's shaping up much like the last one. You getting your 3 bases up uninterrupted, dropping that Roach Warren and Evo Chamber right at the 7-minute mark.
Yeah, and now I'm going to go scout and see, because when you don't see natural gases, you have to be really careful with gateway timings. But I still see that he's chronoing probes, so I'm really not too concerned about that. So that's why I can get my lair and I can get my other gases. This little zealot pressure that he's doing is pretty good, but Ling Queen shuts it down easily enough.
As long as you don't make big control mistakes. So that's a really cool observation that you made, noticing that he's chrono boosting probes. Is a good indicator that he's probably not going to be getting crazy aggressive. Otherwise, he'd be using that chrono boost on gateways or on his warp gate research.
So yeah, that one's fine for me. He might get a queen, but no, he won't.
So one more victory for Kane, starting up that +1 ranged attack upgrade. Guys, the timings are pretty straightforward. Standard openings, 15 pools, 16 hatch is what Kane's doing, but basically any variation that you're used to in the early game. Gas is around 44 supply. You take 2 gases in your main base, and you're adding your 3rd and 4th gases a little bit later. And basically Roach Warren Evo Chamber 7 minutes, Hydroden as soon as that layer is done.
So, yeah, I see that he has his 4th again, or his 3rd, rather. So I'm just going to take my 4th, I'm going to make a bunch of Hydras, and I'm going to go pressure.
Same as before.
Yep. I get the ranged upgrades on the Hydras because it's super important to be able to snipe off like gateways and stuff, and it's a lot easier to do that when you have the range. One thing that I'm doing different this game is I'm getting the macro hatch. That's just because I was floating a few too many minerals. So I'm gonna scout what he's doing. My overlord is already in his base, so we'll see. And now I'm just gonna make a bunch of lings. I'm gonna get my spire, and once I feel like I have enough lings, so maybe I don't know, like just to throw out a number, maybe 40 lings or something like that. Oh, he's pressuring me.
Oh, that's a lot of zealots.
It's a lot of zealots, but hydras are really, really nice versus this.
Keeping up those injects. It's oh so important that you don't miss those injections.
Yeah, it's super important with this style as well because you need a lot of larvae for lings and mutas and everything else. I see an observer floating around my army, so I'm just going to make an overseer back at home. Maybe my queen or something can snipe it. Before he sees my spire, maybe. So right now he only has zealots again, which is quite strange. Normally you'll have sentries or stuff like that. But right now I'm droning up my 4th base. I'm starting my melee upgrade, so that'd be armor. That's a lot of zealots.
That is a ton of zealots, and they have charge.
They have charge, but one really nice thing is that they use development links, but my hydras are still going to go down, unfortunately. That's unfortunate for me, and I want to scout what he's doing now.
So a better defense this time.
Yeah, much better defense by him. He is throwing down stargates, and he has a Twilight Council already. So this isn't the fight that you want to be taking normally, because zealots are really good against unupgraded lings. He's going to kill this 4th, which is really bad. So right now I'm behind, for sure. But maybe I'll still be able to come back. Because he's sacrificing a lot of these zealots.
Yeah.
I did see that he's going Stargate behind this, so I'm going to start making Corruptors preemptively. And I'm going to double expand after this. I'll remake all the queens that I lost. I think I just lost one. So yeah, right now I'm double expanding. I'm getting Corruptors. Like I said, I am behind. And I'm also going to make an Overseer because it's really good to have with your mutas just in case there's an Observer lurking around and snipe it off.
The hive cluster is under attack.
He's being pretty cheeky this game, which is very good for him. I'm going to go in and see if I can do any damage. He's playing much better this game.
Ooh, Stalker's already there.
Stalkers, yeah. And I see another Warp Prism, so I'm going to keep my mutas near the bottom of the map. And I'm also going to start my other melee upgrades. I didn't lose too many drones with that attack, but I lost enough that I am behind. See, I caught the Warp Prism there. I knew he was going to go for that base, so...
Now, one thing that you've really foregone here in favor of all these upgrades and all this tech is, well, when the thing that you didn't get much of are upgrades themselves. I see you're getting +2 on your flying attack and +2 on your melee. But your Zerglings have only got 1 armor. How do you think they're going to hold up against this Protoss army when it comes time to fight with your Lings?
Well, 2-2's on the way right now for Lings, and I should be able to do some damage right now for these Stalkers. He does have Templar, which is scary, so I'm going to snipe those off right away. Makes it so that he can't morph them into anything. I'm doing quite a bit of damage right now, but I'm going to have to back off. And I see that he does have Phoenix like I thought, so my Corruptors are going to come in handy.
Yeah, it was a really good call.
So my creep spread is pretty lackluster this game. And my 4th base isn't completely saturated. I forgot +2 on my links, which is a bit of a mistake, so ignore that. Pretend like it didn't happen. And he does have a scary army right now. But fortunately for me, Templar aren't as good versus mutas now. I'm just going to try to get what damage I can done, and I'm going to start my Baneling Nest as well. I'm a little bit worried that I'm going to lose this game, but we'll see.
Yeah, it's sort of approaching that dangerous critical mass where you have to start saying, how am I ever going to confront this army?
And the secret to that is that we don't. We base trade.
Okay.
And we're going to make him try to come back as much as we can here.
Ooh, big storm.
So we're going to, yeah, good storms with him. We're going to back off here. We killed quite a bit there. And we do have 5 bases. And he's getting his 3rd right now. We have to try to stop him from getting that, that 4th base though. How we're going to do that is beyond me, but I don't think he should be moving out right now.
Our forces are under attack.
So he's bringing some, yeah, so I just want to base race right now, I think. I'm going to start making some lines at home.
Alright, so the race is on.
The race is on. I have pretty good upgrades on my links, and yeah.
Now this Corruptor is really proving to be very useful.
Yeah, they're super important with the style. You don't want to leave them out. And I'm going to target down these cannons with my Banes. So my Phoenix tank the Phoenix, or the Corruptors tank the Phoenix shots, while my Mutas do all the work.
Still a pretty tense game. Could go either way, I think.
Yeah, it is. But the good news is I killed a lot of probes. And I still have a 4th base, and I'm going to get my 5th again right now.
It's a very annoying zealot.
It is. I wonder how many kills it had.
Several.
I don't even want to know. So yeah, I see his army there again. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep avoiding it. There's no point in me trying to fight it. Because if in a straight-on fight, I'm going to lose every time. So I just go around. My Mutas have +2 now, which is nice. So I'm going to be able to kill these really, really quickly. I'm going to take this fight because it's just Stalkers.
And it was an awkward blink too, so...
Yeah, it was. Good storms by him, or good attempts at storms anyways. I don't have many drones anymore, but it seems like I have a pretty big army. Oh, shoot.
Oh my goodness!
Those were good storms. But I think he's going to lose most of these. Yeah, so he just lost all of those. And I still have a pretty scary...
Yeah, I would say so. 30 meta.
Yeah, so... I'm losing some links that I shouldn't be. I'm going to try to replenish my drone count a bit. He's been pretty aggressive all game, so chances are he hasn't really had time to rebuild cannons in his main. So I'm going to go attack there. And he hasn't. So I'm going to be able to get more probes. He's not making Phoenix anymore, so I don't need to worry too much about Corruptors. I'm going to be able to kill all the probes at his natural again.
He does not have very many probes.
No, he will have very, very few. He's trying to micro the Phoenix, but it's kind of useless when you have so few. So I've been killing the cannons all game, and now he has very, very few, and if any, and very low probe count. So I'm looking at his army right now, and he has a lot of stalkers one High Templar and maybe... oh, he has more than one. Okay, so yeah, I still want to avoid this army.
He's doing a good job with his Phoenixes, too.
Yeah, he is. But good news is that it's just so few that it's not a big deal. I'm gonna see if I can surround these High Templar with my drones.
Oh, hero drones!
I wasn't able to, but it was a nice try, I guess.
Still babysitting those Phoenixes. I'm impressed with his control there.
Me too, but he's got to look away at some point. So I'm just going to move my drones to another place. And I'm going to make some more drones elsewhere. I got one Phoenix there, which is fine for me. And I'm just going to try to snipe the Templar, but I shouldn't be able to. And in this case, I'm feeling really good right now because Mutiling is really good in base rates. I just got to make sure that I can build something else with my drones here.
Yeah. You got enough for 2 extractors.
That should be more than enough, too. I don't think he'll be able to defend this base. I just have to kill the Nexus. Yeah, he's heading back, so right now it's game. Because I still have some minerals in my main, and he's not mining at all. Yeah, that was a really weird blink by him. I thought he might try that, so... But yeah, this game was a bit closer than I would have liked it to be. But he played well, so... I got another
cool.
Phoenix. And now I just trying. I just gotta not use mutas needlessly right now, and I'll be fine.
GG, well played. Andre taps out. That was a nice game, Kane. As your build once again proves to be good enough. So
yeah,
go ahead.
That game he played really, really well with the Zealot defense, so I haven't seen that before. So that was a bit annoying that I didn't do much damage at all with my Hydras, but...
Yeah. You know, I think it's really interesting if we go back into Wings of Liberty, players like Xenia were fooling around with Ling Hydra into mutas for a while, but it just never really caught on. I guess the Hydralisk, you know, the push that you used didn't take advantage of any of the new features of the Hydra. You didn't use Hydra speed, it was just range and go. But it's neat seeing that that some players were kind of onto this, and then it never really took off, and now it's kind of making a resurgence here in Heart of the Swarm. I mean, I've seen other guys use this style as well.
Yeah, I've been debating whether to get speed or Hydra range with this push. And it hits before that you can get both upgrades. But I'm really liking it these days just because he didn't do it either these games, but a lot of the times Protoss will open up Stargate, and I would say at least 50% of my ZvPs are Stargate openers. And it's a lot stronger versus that than, say, a quick third base like Gretorp is taking.
Cool. Well, very cool. All right, man. Well, we're going to take another short break. When we get back, I'm going to try to play and see if I can pull this build off. It'll be my first time experimenting with it, so I'm really excited to see how it goes. Don't go anywhere, guys. You're watching The Pulse, and we'll be right back.